Here is our non-favourite couple, Constance Martin and Mark Gordon. Now, for those of you who do not know, Constance Martin and Mark Gordon went on the run when Constance was pregnant. Now, she had had previous children removed. Mark had served time in a jail in Florida for a very serious SA attack, and after he had done his time, he was then shipped back over to the UK. To catch up with the story in its entirety, if you don't know this couple, you can go back and watch my videos. There is a playlist. Now, Constance Martin and her partner Mark Gordon caused the entirely avoidable death of their baby daughter Victoria, and this is what they heard today in their retrial. Yes, this is a retrial because the jurors could not come to a unanimous verdict in their first trial last year. On the 5th of January 2023, the defendants went on the run with the baby after the car that they were using to flee in caught fire on the motorway. They fled the scene and they went and they travelled across the UK, and this was all over the media. They were seen on CCTV camera pushing that poor baby around in the freezing cold. You can see in this picture here, Constance has kind of got this baby bundled up with no coat on, no less, underneath her jacket. And if you watch the CCTV footage of this picture up here, that is also in my video collection, you will see how Constance handles the baby, and I was mortified when I saw it. Now, again, Constance was from a very wealthy family, and because of this, she did have a trust fund, and she was accessing this so she could buy what she needed, and she was paying out a fortune in taxis. The couple travelled from Harwich to Colchester in Essex, then on to East London, and then they made their way to South Downs, where they went off-grid and they slept in that flimsy tent from the 8th of January. So they had a newborn baby. Newborn babies can't regulate their temperature, and this poor baby was kept out in the cold in the middle of the night and also during the day. Now, what we also heard last time is that, Constance likened this to how baby Jesus was kept in a barn. I had no words for that. It has been said that the couple had transferred baby Victoria to a little bag for life after they dumped their brand new buggy, and then they were next seen on the 12th of January at Texaco Garage, where Constance had bought snacks with some cash, but then at this point there was no sign of the baby. There was a massive search, there was a massive concern for this baby, obviously. Now, the prosecutor told the jury that you will have to consider if the baby had by now died of hypothermia or had been smothered and suffocated in the obviously dangerous sleeping conditions in the tent that she was in, or whether she was still alive at this point, but that her fate was sealed by the conduct of the defendants carrying her in the bag for life. Now, as I said, because of the condition of baby Victoria, when they found her, no cause of death could actually be established. After this baby had passed away, Constance and Mark Gordon continued to sleep rough. They scavenged bins for food, and they carried Victoria in the little bag still. Now, when they were eventually arrested, the baby was not with them, and they didn't tell the police. Now, we heard that Constance had said that it was her intention to give the baby a burial after the autopsy. We heard how Constance said it was co-sleeping that killed baby Victoria, and that she had planned on setting baby Victoria's body on fire and cremating her, and then she changed her mind because she wanted this autopsy. But on arrest, wouldn't tell the police where baby Victoria actually was, and the police had to search for her after they had arrested the couple. On finding baby Victoria, Victoria was obviously badly decomposed. They put their relationship and their views of life before that of their daughter, according to the prosecution. Rather than act in the obvious best interest of a vulnerable baby and one that they should have cared for and looked after, they decided instead that they knew best. They decided to ignore the advice that they had previously been given, and they decided in the middle of winter and in obviously dangerous weather, because it had been cold and snowing, that they would deprive the baby of what it needed: warmth, shelter, protection and food, and ultimately safety. They essentially went off-grid and lived in a tent with hardly any clothes, no means of keeping this baby warm, and scarcely any food. It was their gross, negligent and obviously dangerous conduct that caused the death of the baby, and this is what the jurors heard today. After their baby died in January 2023, the defendants did not hand themselves in, but they tried to remain off the grid, leaving the body of their dead baby in a shopping bag covered in rubbish, which they carried around and then left in a disused shed. And that's what police officers came across when they were looking for Victoria. The jurors were told today that the defendants were convicted at an earlier trial of concealing the birth of a child and perverting the course of justice. Now, they continue to maintain they're innocent, and they are, as I said at the beginning, accused of the manslaughter of their daughter through gross negligence. This trial is going to last for up to 8 weeks, and we are there for every bit of it. We followed this case when Constance was on the run, and we will follow it through until the end of this trial. So make sure you are following so you don't miss updates on that, and make sure you are subbed to my YouTube channel, After Dark Coffee and Crime, and I will see you soon. Bye now.